And I think it's so important for artists to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do, because that's the only way they can be themselves.
Exactly.
And then that's the only way you can be successful, is to completely be yourself at all times, 100%.
Yeah.
Nothing but yourself.
And you see that one thing that does happen when people do take the money is that part goes away. Because even though you think you're kind of sort of being yourself, everybody knows you're not totally. You're not totally being yourself anymore.
And dough will change your life in a way that you might not like be ready for, or something. You're gonna think, I got this dough, now I can leave this town I don't like, or I can get the house that I was wanting. When it was being in that town and kind of having things, difficult pressures around you and stuff, that was creating these diamonds, that was putting you in this situation to make good art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you take away all your discomfort and then realize you can't make art and you're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start getting nostalgic about the good old days when you were broke and shit like that. It's better to just take only what you need.
Well, then there's also the problem, once you become successful, of worrying about not being successful anymore, about maintaining it.
That's terrifying. Sure.
I got to keep this going. Like I can't fall off.
But if
I can't be less successful. I can't. I used to be poor, and now I've got money. I got to make sure this doesn't go away.
It's
and so
how you
like
measure.
Temper your thoughts, and you measure. You're measured in what you say.
No. Your measure of success is like, how much can I be myself, and be happy. Be happy that way. If you can still be 100% yourself all the way to the end of the line, then that's your success.
Yeah.
Like
but that's a smart way of looking at things. Most people look at things in terms of like, what is the way that's the most profitable? So they'll avoid certain controversies.
But we know that we know even from talking about like people whose art is money, it creates misery to be chasing the bank account, to constantly have the dough. Like you create bad art. All right, your albums start to suck. You might be getting in bigger places and stuff like that, but yeah, it's gonna fall off, and when it does, then you have like some existential problems to deal with at that point.
Well, there's always the devil's bargain, right? That fucking story is as old as time. That's the Robert Johnson story, right? They thought he sold his soul.
Yeah. Van Halen definitely sold his soul to the devil.
You think so?
No, I don't.
Look like Eddie Van Halen, dude.
What?
You look a little like Eddie Van Halen.
I fucking love Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, he's the man.
Oh my god,
he was the man.
He's the Robert Johnson of the late '70s. Him and Angus Young sold his soul.
Isn't it funny though that story was like always around? The story of selling your soul for success.
Yeah,
it's an interesting metaphor.
But it doesn't make any sense as far as like Robert Johnson. He's like, he sold his soul, I guess, so he could play and then not be successful in his lifetime and die poor, and then we would all find him later and enjoy him.
I think the thought was that he was so much better than everybody else. There's no way he could have gone that far ahead without some help.
Right. He's spooky good.
Yeah.
He's spooky good. He was working in the future.
But there's always guys like that, like Hendrix. If anybody sold their soul, it's Hendrix.
Yeah.
Not that I think he did, but it's like when that guy came around, everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
in every generation, there's a player, man.
Yep.
And maybe you could trace the line. Johnson, Hendrix, that's skipping a few.
Mm-hmm.
But to Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, and then you've got like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and like these virtuosos. Stevie Ray Vaughan, so important to Texas too, Stevie.